Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It is a beautiful Friday too. Boy, have we been busy as can be. We have 6 days to Joel and just got done with an event. And yeah, that's a lot been going on. In fact, I'll admit to you guys something. I came up here and realized that I didn't have the live already scheduled. So I posted it for the first time 15 minutes before the live, when normally I do it a week before. It's been so busy. But the good news is we're here, you're here. So it ought to be pretty cool, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm the one that didn't turn my phone off. And I always ask you if you did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess we're a little discombobulated today, but that's okay, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get some hellos in here real quick. You think? Okay. Squatchy was in the house first, followed by Rick. Good to see both of you. City Greens, good evening. Sons of Hack, long time no see. Jane, good to see you. One step closer. See you soon. Terminator. Matt, good to see you. I think I'll see you soon too. Silver Lining, I'll see you soon. Beth Emily, good to see you. Farm Ranch Homestead, welcome in. Tamber Smith, hello, hello. The famous Mike and Jen, who I'll also see soon. Mary Michelle, good to see you. Paradise Stanley, long time no see, as with Redneck. Dina Green, good to see you. The greatest name on the internet.
Half of them
is in the house. And my buddy Nitos, good to see you. Jane, welcome in. Carrie Davis, welcome in. I keep thinking I'm going to change it, and then someone else pops in. Anyway, good to see everybody. And again, happy Friday. Skins Girl, welcome in. I think I'm caught up.
Yes. This is a fast week.
Yeah, fast week. And
happy
so,
again.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy next 6 days for sure. Julia Withers, welcome in.
It is May.
Oh, look at this. Julia says, the happiest of Fridays from Washington, D.C., as I just effectively retired from the federal government.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations with having the strength to make it that far. And congratulations and nothing but the best of luck in whatever the future holds for you.
And welcome.
And Jean Menke, welcome in. Yeah, let's everybody give Julia congratulations in the text, huh? Yep, big deal. Very happy. All right. So anyway, B, what you got today? What do you want to talk about?
Well, do you want to go through like we did last week?
Go through what?
Go through the what you've got, and then we'll come back to what I don't have, so that we can go through what.
Apparently, B's got a plan.
Well, it just helped that way because, like I said last week, we live the same life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And then if I say something, and then you're like, "Oh, I've got a slide on that." Well, then show us the slides.
Yeah, Kent says, evening all. Has anyone read Joe Salatin's The Marvelous Pigness of Pigs? I'm finding it to be a good read. Yeah, you know what? Most of his books are a good read. I pretty much like all of them. I'm excited to be able to just kind of hang out with him a little bit. All my experience with him is either at conventions, speaking events, or in a board meeting or something like that. I've never really been able to just hang out. So I'm actually looking forward to that.
So it's like work.
Yeah, it's always work, right? Barbara and Aljo are in the house. Good to see you. And the Instagrator, welcome in. Sorry, it's been a lot. Right.
We have been running from one event to the next.
Yep. Hey, no life is complete without it.
Pack Rat.
Welcome in, Pack Rat. All right. Well, let's see what we got going on here, huh? Okay, so you guys know we had the April 26th event. And I put a video out on it. It was an interesting video for me because I really didn't edit it a lot. I didn't voice over it a lot. I just kind of
you played shenanigans.
Yeah, just had fun all day long. So I thought it was a great experience. So if you guys haven't seen it, you should go check it out for sure. Let's see here. What do I got here?
We had a good time. We got to plant. We got to see the brooders. Some bartering. I ended up with several plants. Tarragon, purple coneflower, like the actual plants, not just some seeds, actual plants. Monarda, mint, elderberry. There's more.
You got a planted yet?
No, this weekend it's supposed to be sunny and 70. So my goal is to be out in the yard planting and getting things kind of settled. the ground is so wet right now, so it's so easy to just kind of move dirt, put plants in. I'm super happy, super excited.
In case anybody don't know, Matt's boy Wyatt is interning at Joe Salatin's farm right here. And so it's neat to have someone from the community kind of out there doing that. And I told Wyatt not to let us down. And so it's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm super excited about that. I just thought I'd point that out to you guys.
Is he any updates?
Yeah, Rick wants to know if I'll ever put out a book. I don't even know what it would be about. Rick, if you were me, what would you write a book about? I'm get back here. Hey, Gypsy, what's up, bud? Welcome in.
Hello again.
Yeah, okay, got it. I'm cut up. Anyway,
so we had the spring event. The bonfire was lit by a shotgun, which was the weirdest thing ever.
no, it was awesome.
It was weird.
No,
I didn't know what was going on. So he's done that before, or you've seen that done before. That's a normal thing.
Yeah, so
For
it
people that
was
started
lit
fire
with a dragon's breath shotgun shell, and anyways.
Oh, so it was like loaded with something to make that happen like that. Did you put fuel? You put gasoline?
Oh,
or
put some
something?
diesel fuel on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if in the video, I filmed us rednecks shooting him with a shotgun, and
I've never seen that done before.
yeah, it was really, really cool. Yeah. Hey, Leela, welcome in. Rick says I should write an autobiography. I don't think it's that interesting. Hippocrates said, how about a book on how to win auctions and influence community? Yeah, Farm Ranch Homestead should be about building community. Hey, Ricky Dicky Doo Grimes, welcome in. Yep, Leela says about building community. Let's see here. Oh, Jesse said, so sad I missed it. I did not know you missed it. By the way, Jesse, I want to tell you that absolute wonderful picture I showed you earlier this week, I have in the live slideshow tonight. So, make sure that Callie's watching because it'll be great. Yeah.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah. Jen says the book should be Taganistan, where everything's easy.
It's easy.
You guys are awesome. Still good. Hey, Sharpshooter, welcome in. Before the trigger on the shotgun was fired, was there a chorus of, hey, yeah, watch this? No, a lot of people with their fingers in their ears. But anyway.
I saw it from a distance, so I didn't know. I saw like a boing, and I would come around the building, and he was standing there with the shotgun, and I was like, did he shoot that? And then I saw the video, and I was like, oh, yeah, that made sense. This is the fire.
Sons of the Hack says it should be a book about making bets on outcomes. I like that one a lot. Yeah, Skins Girl says underground laundry business. Hey, Dave and Sonia from Michigan. Welcome in. Yep, the Living Free book. Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me to write a book, but I've just never thought there was that much interesting,
I think your life is not that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hey, this was interesting. So you guys know how in the last live we were talking about how community's hard sometimes because it's trying to, keep together a whole bunch of pirates, and that we have to be the duck, show grace and be calm on top of the water and kind of paddling like hell underneath, right? And so we had this conversation on the last live, and then we go to have our event on Saturday, and guess what shows up? I don't know who put it there, but someone put that on a shelf in the community building.
And it's like, it's not a drawing either, right? No. It's like etched or something. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's not burned.
Yeah.
It's like plastic. What is it? Did you touch it?
Yeah, it's like
I think it's on the very top shelf.
Yeah.
It's glass.
Yeah. So it's interesting for sure. But anyway, I thought you guys would find this interesting that we just talk about it on the live on Friday. Saturday night, someone sneaks this into the community building.
Yeah. And look at the storm.
Yeah.
The clouds, the waves, I think that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we've noticed it. So
the beautiful Louise Wesley's in the house. Good to see you. Stan Guthrie. Hello, hello. And Distraught Moth. What's going on? How are you?
Hey.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought this was really pretty cool.
I did too.
You know, these stuff like this is touching to me. You know, that it's just like every time I look at that picture, I will never see it, you know, not compared to our live last week.
Right.
You know, like I'll always see that as
like
that.
this is the storms that we go through.
Yeah.
And just like the water off of a duck's back, you let the BS just go.
Mm-hmm.
Just go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you guys how many times I coach people in the community about
Everything.
Not everything, but a lot about managing your emotional connection, you know, and that, you know, things like expectations, you know, expectations are earned. In order for me to have high expectations of someone, they will have to have shown me they're capable of high expectations. You know what I mean? So there's you know, there's one side of the argument of about, and just inside, you know, in our community about like, I have no expectations. That way I'm not disappointed, or my expectations are really high and I'm always disappointed.
That's without all of your relationships, right? I mean,
Well,
your relationships with your parents and your siblings and your, you know.
Yes, but I think
coworkers.
if you manage those expectations and you say, okay, everybody in my life is going to earn my expectation. Right. So you're
just we're always taught that.
You're disappointed less. You know, I don't know.
Right. People teach us lessons all the time.
All the time.
About what they can and cannot do and put up with and deal with, just like we teach them what we can do and deal with and put up with.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that they
talk
show
about boundaries. You're talking about boundaries. Do we create expectation boundaries? Maybe that's a deep thought. See who I missed here real quick. Yeah, Jesse says that expectations are the root of all disappointment. Castilla DeForest Sims. Yeah, hola. How's it going? Hey,
hola.
My buddy Scott's in the house. Scott, how are you, bud? Yeah, see, Carrie Davis's tag, write a book about the transition from corporate to community homesteading. Yeah, that was a journey. Give people room to help, but don't be dependent upon them. See, I don't know. You know, this is such an interesting topic because I like to think like earning the high expectations of people is like a badge of honor. Like you got to work really hard for it. Maybe I'll just look at that.
No, I mean, you do have to work really hard for it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
And when you do let them down, it hurts.
Yeah.
And especially if you know it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see here. Callista DeForest Sims says, doing well over here in San Diego, California. Well, hello from San Diego.
And that was Ola, by the way, right? Hello.
Mm-hmm. All right. Keep it trucking, huh? So here's this wonderful picture we were This is a great picture. No. I had to share with you guys. So if
we love you, Callie.
Yeah, we love you, Callie. If you know, you just know, you know? Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a great story behind a picture like this. Now,
it's a Callie story.
There was a baby goat there, and
Princess, I think.
Yeah, Princess from Grumpy and Angela. And anyway, it was running around all over, and she was petting it. But what a perfect picture, right? Because again, if you know, you know.
She's so sweet.
If you don't know the Callie goat story, if you go back on my YouTube channel, Callie and I did an interview together where she tells the entire goat story, and it was it's one of my favorites. Yeah, yeah, and so
you have to go listen.
Yeah, so she got up close and personal with another goat.
That's lovely. Look at her look at two princesses like, oh.
How wonderful. Hey, TV test pattern, welcome in. Yes, the goat. Mike and Jen, specifically Jen, Callie, wants to know if the goat survived. Yep. And I'm happy to tell you guys that the goat is happy, healthy, and alive.
Yep.
Yep.
Still bottle feeding.
Let's see here. Oh, sorry. They're talking to each other. Anyway, my bad. So, Callie, we love you. This is a great picture and absolutely one that needs to be in the scrolling list of pictures at the community building.
And that hat looks great on you.
And that hat looks great on you. Yeah, that too. All right. What else we got? Talk about pictures that make you famous. So, we've been spending a lot of time down at the community building cleaning and
Oh man,
picking stuff up. And you guys can see a sharpshooter in the background cleaning. And I
he's
made
got a broom in his hand.
Yeah, I told him he was going to make somebody a great wife someday. And he owned it, man.
He had a vacuum at one
Yeah,
time.
he owned it like a boss.
I was impressed. That floor, it turned a different color.
Mhm. Yeah, someone's got him trained real well.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes,
Is that proper training?
he got that clean. For
Hey,
now,
Rabbit Coyote, good to see you.
the floors around here don't last
Yeah.
to be clean, so it's clean for the evening.
Yeah, and then I got this beautiful picture of Mr. Joe, and I really like this picture a lot because it just embodies what Joe
Is he eating a
really
Twinkie?
is. No, it's a big sausage
Oh, with a drip of mustard.
with a drip of mustard on the top.
It's a chocolate covered banana.
Yeah, this is one of those pictures that I think needs to go in the community building scroll too, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Look at that fridge. We got a fridge in the community building.
Sharpshooter says it takes a team to clean up after the Tagnado. And for the win, MC Sausage.
There you go, Jen. Good job.
Yep, for the win.
Yeah.
That's just great. So,
The sausage master.
yeah, Callie, Caleb, Joe, love you guys. Just wanted to make sure you guys seen the scrolling pictures that have to go on at the community building because these are beautiful. You agree?
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
We've had a lot of people over. I mean, Cindy's been out 5 times trying to
Yeah.
get the cabinets ready. Adam's been out there.
Yeah,
The Ambers have been out there. The Horns have been out there.
it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Carl's been out a bunch.
Yes. A
A
lot.
lot. I thought nothing could say how the day ended on Saturday better than the puppy. Beachy was out, and just a puppy dog here, but he got to chase goats. He got to play with kids all day, and after about 8 hours of that, he didn't care who was around him. He was right smack in the middle of everybody. He said, "Nope, it is time
He was done.
for a nap." Yep. Jen says, Carl the sourdough? Yeah, right. Carl the sourdough.
The other Carl.
Yeah. Another real interesting about Carl, I don't know if you guys knew this about him, but he trains tactical. What do they call the dogs that walk along with you? Like emotional support dogs. What do they, they're like PTSD people have dogs. What do they call that?
Support dogs?
Support dog, fine. Tactical support goats. So if you ever run into Carl, you have to ask him about his tactical support goats. It was quite the story.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Real Tread Life says, "Who's that good-looking man you have sweeping for you?" Tag. Yep.
Taken.
Yep. Yeah, like a guide dog or a companion dog. Yeah, but he does goats and they're tactical. So tactical companion goats. You'll have to ask them. Service dogs.
goat.
That's actually the word I was looking for.
Service goat.
Yeah. Got it. You guys rock. Thank you so much.
Leave it to Louise.
Yep.
She's just smart.
Yeah. Sharpshooter says Kiwi looked similar by the end of Saturday. Yeah, that kid had a complete meltdown. It was the end of the day and had been running.
Right.
Right. He didn't have anything left to give. He gave every single thing he had.
He gave
that
all
day.
of his good attitude away.
Yeah, there was nothing left. Yeah, there was absolutely nothing left. Which is good. At the end of the day, this is good advice for you guys. You get community. At the end of the day, if the puppies and all the kids are sleeping, you won. Right?
Then it's quiet.
And it's all quiet. Yep. Yep. Beautiful stuff.
And the fire is still going.
Still.
How many days later?
Yeah, still going. After 3 rains, it's still smoldering.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. 3
Yep.
rains and a week later.
And we're going to try to get over and get another big pile of logs and stack them all up and try to do another bonfire with Joel that night. Maybe about the
Are
time we
you
start
going
cooking.
through this mud pile to get out the burnables?
No, I got a big old pile up on the hill over there.
Oh,
Back with
you're
that
bringing new stuff out.
new stuff out. Yeah.
Oh, that giant pile?
Yes.
You're talking about on the
Yes.
back 40.
Yes. Yes. You got it.
That's a lot of traction
Yep.
back and forth.
Yeah, this was, I figured I'd share this picture, you guys, because this is really cool. You know, how dark it is out where we live, but that's the community building, and people are cleaning up and kind of getting ready to get out of there for the night.
It's like a truck is loading up.
Yep.
What are those like lit
I don't know.
things? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's people sitting in chairs probably.
It's that dark.
Yeah, but it's that dark. But look how beautiful that community building lights up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Without the grid, I might add.
Yep.
You like that?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a nice feel.
Yep. Yep.
That security, that right?
B, why don't you tell these fine folks about this says 12 days later, we're down to 6. Let me get rid of that. Why don't you talk about what's going on in 6 days?
We have so just my portion.
Yes, just talk about your portion.
We have an event, a dinner. Well, we have a gathering going on starting about 2:00. We have people coming before that to get ready, get the whole building ready, last minute sweeping and centerpieces and tablecloths and napkin wrapping and little butters out. We've got we had planned dinner for 100. We had confirmed 35 people for what I knew 35 people. And then like 45 minutes later, I get a confirmation of 75 people. So within like, I don't know who talked to who, but it went from 35 to 75 in like no time flat. But I'm prepared for 100. So we are good to go on that part. We have 3 different kinds of meat being donated and
Talk about that.
being cooked. We have a pig coming from Rocky Top Ranch, and a lamb coming from Grumpy Acres Farm. Both of those are going to butcher, and they will keep it cold until we are ready to pick it up and cook it that day. And we have 2 turkeys coming from Pippin. I was going to do 2 of my turkeys. They were both hens, and she had toms, which are significantly bigger. We can feed more people with them. So she is graciously donating 2 toms that she is going to, I think she's going to butcher and then bring to me to brine and cook on the 8th. I think she's bringing it on the 7th, to brine and then cook on the 8th. So the meats, 3 meats, the birds will be cooked indoors, and the pig and lamb will be cooked outdoors on Carl's massive smoker.
Which I've got some pictures of.
Okay. So I'll stop talking about that.
Yeah. Here, I'll find it. I'll show you. She's talking about that. We've been building a smoker to do all of this with.
It looks so cool.
Let me find the picture here.
And Carl has been out so many days. Horn was out helping, and Sharpshooter was out there. The boys were out there. They were leveling the outside wall, retaining wall, so that dirt can be put back in there. The lid will sit right on top of this. Is this as tall as it's going to be?
No, it's going to be
blocks?
so the center box will be 2 more tall, 2 more runs tall.
4 blocks high.
Right. And then the hood will go on top of that.
And then the hood. So the hood we'll have to have 2 guys on it to move it over to the wall. And then they'll be able to put it back on when they need to. It'll just sit right on top of the wall.
Hey, I want to welcome in Amy B real quick. And then Sons of Hack says, we're butchering the turkeys on Monday. If you have room to keep them cool, we can bring them later that day.
Monday. Let me write that down, and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Put it right here.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty cool. And I got a backfill and all that stuff, but it'll be kind of inset into the hill next to the community building on the side where people really won't be anyway. So it's kind of out in its own little place. We poured a concrete slab for it. We'll fill that with sand or concrete, and then we'll put a capper on it. But
You're gonna fill what with sand?
the holes in these in the block.
Oh,
Really sand, I think, is what I want to use because of it cooking it and all that. It'll
so
keep
the
that
center of that cooker is hollow. You just put the whatever you're cooking, the wood or coals or
Mhm.
whatever in the center of that,
Yes.
and you light the fire directly onto that
Yes.
concrete pad.
Yes. Yeah, and it's been sitting for quite a while, so it ought to be pretty good. Let's see. Callista says, I'll be helping friends process chickens next Saturday for the first time. Oh, excellent. Yeah, good to be excited.
Come back next week and let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Or the following week.
Okay, let me remove that. But anyway, keep
So
going,
anyway,
babe.
we're gonna cook the meats. We're gonna cook the 2 meats out there, and then the bird is gonna be cooked inside. Birds, and then we're gonna do green beans and a potato. We are still doing a potato. Green beans are not in season right now, so we partnered with Tabletop Farms. They're getting us a salad mix. We have 75-25 of like a lettuce mix and spinach. So 75 lettuce mix, 25 spinach will come together. We have like, how many pounds that was? Anyway, several pounds of lettuces.
Mhm.
Then we have beets that we're going to cook to put on there, onion, green onion. And then we have
Asparagus.
the side dish. That's the salad. Then the side dish is a broccolini, asparagus, radish medley. I think it has garlic in it too. And then the potato, which she did a mock-up of the potato and it was delightful. And then we have Amber rolls, and she is making the rolls, and Grumpy Acres is making the butter for everybody. So it's like 100 ounces of butter that they have been very busy making with, I believe, cream from a farm that's just around the corner for them. So that's exciting, and that's coming along great. I can't wait to see what that looks like, tastes like. The desserts are being made by the community members. We have several who are bringing all different kinds. I did go through all of my kitchen stuff, and I was able to get out just all the kitchen stuff that I've been kind of hoarding away. Probably not all of it, even just some of it. The big giant strainers that I got from Edible Arrangements when they went out of business. These colanders are huge. So we'll be able to put, we're getting 60 pounds of potatoes from Happy Hollow Farms, and to, wash the radishes and all of these things, we need dishes to do this with. So I was able to go through the processing kitchen and get out the knives and the scoops and the not cutting boards. I actually had to borrow those because I don't have enough cutting boards.
Hey, hold that thought. Permatopia Farm, welcome in. And I just wanted to touch on this. Jen says, tea, shall I bring some hibiscus or another like yummy blend?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of yeses back behind it. Make sure I got everybody here. Yep. Okay.
Your hibiscus tea is beautiful. And I have a 4-gallon glass jar that we can put it in. It would be beautiful. And we'll put a little sign on it. Anyway, we have service for 100. We have tables. I still need like 3 6-foot tables and
1 8-foot table.
1 8-foot table.
I got the 8-foot table for you already.
Okay.
You're down to 3 6-foot tables.
And then we still need a couple chairs because we had somebody get 20 and then somebody get 22 and we needed 46. So we need like 4 more chairs still. Which then we will have 100 chairs. It is coming along. And then desserts, I have
Skane's girl says she has 3 6-foot tables she could bring.
That's what we needed.
That'd be it then. Thank you, Skane's girl.
Perfect. Then we just need a few chairs left, and then we've got everything that we need.
Yeah, Rick says, hey, Tag, I'll be in Eastern Oklahoma in July. If it's okay, I'd like to swing up afterwards. Yep, for sure. And don't forget, we've got an event going on July the 5th.
Oh, that's right. And it will be a busy, busy time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, go back to your meal. back to what all your stuff you're doing.
So we've got, it's coming along. We've got a farm to table meal planned.
Complete farm to table meal.
We've got a lot of community members who are,
even the dressings are being handmade.
Yep. We've got another community member who's providing the milk. So we'll have milk for you to drink. You can have some chocolate milk if you want. We also have the milk, the cream going into the potatoes. We have, like I said, the butter, the rolls, the desserts, the what else? I'm trying to think. Drinks.
We now have hibiscus tea coming.
Yes.
Right?
And milk.
And milk.
How could we go wrong with those?
Yeah. I think it's great that Joel gets to come and experience the community and experience a complete farm to table meal grown from around here. Everything's, close here.
Well, and I have to, when we first found out that this was going to be a possibility and we were going to get this to come together, one of the community members was like, oh, hey, why don't we do a farm to table meal? And I was like, come on, how can we do that? That can't work. May 8th, what is going to be harvesting? Blah, 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 blah. Here I come with a Debbie Downer. Can't do that. And then she was like, okay, fine, we can't do that. And, sat back down. And then, here I'm like, she put that in my head and I'm like, maybe we can do that. And then I'm like, okay, we'll do potatoes and green beans. And then of course, green beans are not an option right now, not here. And I asked the neighbor who's a big gardener and I'm like, hey, do you know anybody who has green beans? And he's like, not right now. And I'm like, of course, right. Okay. So then I asked my friends over in Tabletop and I'm like, hey, do you know anybody with green beans? And she's like, not right now. And I'm like, great, there goes my whole meal, and then she's like, well, what about this medley? And I'm like, okay, wait, are we back on? So it's like, can do it, can't do it, can do it, can't do it.
Yeah, but there's a bigger part to this. This is a farm to table meal based upon the seasonality of where we live.
Right.
Which is in the event of a Great Depression or, any of these things that we talk about all the time.
Right.
This is what you'd be eating. You'd be eating seasonally.
Yes.
Now you wouldn't be eating green beans.
No.
Right? I mean,
You'd be eating exactly what we're going to be eating. So what's available.
Hey, David Strom, welcome in, by the way. And thanks, Rick. Yeah, Skeens Girl says, sounds absolutely wonderful after having a cheat really badly on your diet ride home from work. Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's super fitting. I mean, we're bringing Joel in, not for these purposes, but to have a conversation with a school about changing the school and changing the way kids eat. And, from
a package, from a wrapper,
and we get to go through that process and actually demonstrate that process to not just Joel, but to the administrators. The superintendent will attend the dinner afterwards and all of that. And so not only are we going to have Joel come speak about it, we're also going to demonstrate it. And I think that is just really, really pretty cool.
Well, and in order for kids to like the food that you can grow, they have to be introduced to them. So, it's hard for a kid to like it if they've never had it. Right?
Yeah.
More Brussels sprouts, please.
Yeah.
So it's a good way for them to get into touch with what they're actually eating. If they can put the seed in the ground and they can water it and they can watch it grow and then they can pull it and they can look at it and they can eat it and they're going, that whole cycle, is what the picture that grows in your mind of like what your food is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's the meat, you see it, it's there, you raise it, it's now food. That whole process is there for the nourishment of the body. So if they can see how that whole thing works, I think that they would make better choices.
Mm-hmm.
At least I have seen that happen in people.
Yeah, that's exciting. And I'm excited. You're not actually making anything, correct?
Like me, actually, I mean, I will be there prepping. I probably won't be, with an oven mitt in my hand, but I'll be there I mean, if I need to be, I will. But my goal is to not be, because there's other things for me to be doing. So there's up to like 2 or 3 days in advance, things that are having to take place in order for that one meal to go down. So the prep work all the way up to it, just even the layout of the tables in the room, how to fit that kind of people, how many people in there.
That was fun.
There were 6 of us moving tables around for several hours, moving chairs, moving tables. And then Cindy comes and she goes, hey, why are the chairs like this? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, in the kitchen, they're all like pushed up to the side. And I was like, that was me. Like, a few of the people were smart when they were like moving the chairs and they like folded them up and stuck them over here, like in a row. Like, I took chairs and like started shoving them in the corner like there was an exorcist going on, so that when she came, she was like, everything's weirdly shoved into the kitchen. Should I leave it like that? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I did that. It was a mess. And she goes, yeah, I was going to say, like, somebody came in here and made a freaking mess. And I was like, that was me.
And you guys call me Tagnado.
And well,
B-Nado.
I thought we were going to just silly me. I've been trying to work these tables. Like Jess and I moved them. I think MMR played a role in that, or there was a couple other people at some point in time, and we had moved them a couple times, and we tried to like not stick them next to each other, but kind of off ways and like tilted and we were just like, forget it. We can't figure it out. And then I thought you were going to come in with like this math equation, 100 people. We're going to set them like this. And then you came in and you were like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put 3 rows of tables in here. Blah, 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 blah. And then we did it. And we were like, we can't move around like that. And then my calculation of what you were going to bring to the table changed, because it was like, didn't work. Option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, option 6, option 7. And then it was like, I don't know what he's doing either. Like, that was where it ended. And then I don't know who came up with the design that it is now. And then it was like, glorious. It's going to work again. It's happening. It's happening. Math is hard. Math hurts.
David says math is hard.
Yes.
Yeah, math can be hard. But I mean, it's so crazy. It's not always, you don't always know the answer. Sometimes you got to mess with it, to kind of figure out the answer. Right. And we had to move those tables a bunch of different places to figure out, okay, how do we put the maximum amount of people in here? And we figured out how to put 100, but
you ain't dancing around.
We're going to get friendly. Yeah.
We're going to get friendly. Is that what you said?
We're going to get friendly.
So when we have the seating, I'm starting to think that it might be wise for us to have like, not really assigned seatings, but there's like 4 bangers and 3 bangers. So like if you come with a party of 3, you can't sit at a 4-banger table, because that odd man is like going to be weirdo sitting there. So you come with a 3-banger, you got to have a 3-banger table. So that way it's like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So you might get set next to somebody, that you may or may not know, but because you're a 4 table and they're a 4 table, you 2 are table mates. Where'd you get that? All of us, you just pulled that right onto the sky?
Just poof, out of the sky.
You had that on here already?
No.
Lovely.
Yep. No, see, if you paid attention.
I'm making a cornucopia.
Look.
Yeah.
I had it sent to me.
Oh, thanks, man.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Anyway,
yeah,
that's funny how fast that stuff can happen.
Just like that.
Yep. Yep, it's good. Hey Mo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Bees out of control, just so you know, just like always. So what else about your meal?
Yeah,
You-
that's me.
do you guys have enough silverware? Talk about the silverware that you bought.
We got biodegradable.
No, they're wooden.
They're biodegradable.
They're wooden.
And they you can put them in the compost.
Yeah. So all wooden forks, spoons, and knives, which I thought was a really cool touch.
They're wooden.
Yeah. Hey, Katie, Texas.
It's like-
What's going on?
How, like, realistically, how good is a wooden knife gonna cut? Because it's like Jags. It's not like, it's like squares. I was like, how the cut really? We're gonna figure it out. So we've got somebody purchased black linen tablecloths. So we have tablecloths, we have black, and then the paper plates are tan, and then we have white napkins with tan little like jute, I guess. Jute. And the only thing we don't have that's like compostable is the cups. They're just red Solo cups. So
Yeah, Paradise Stanley says we used all compostable utensils and plates for our wedding. They are made of palm leaves. Yeah, these are wood, so we'll see what happens. But I promise you, there'll be plenty of silverware on hand in case they don't work out so good.
just use your teeth.
Jen's got a great idea. Maybe we should seat the singles together and have our own homesteaders only live date meetup.
Have singles at once. So like one. If you're a single person, you go to the single table,
Mhm.
then the 4 tables, then the 3 tables.
We could do that speed dating thing. We could put all the boys at a chair and run the girls through, and they have 5 minutes to ask them. Speed dating for homesteaders.
I don't think that that would.
That'd work. Everybody's like, shut up, tag. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See, Skane's girl says, I have a bell for the 5-minute round.
She's in.
Right. I like all of this. I think this is gonna work out well. Anything else from the food, babe?
What else? Oh, I was gonna say the dessert. We have so far we have Yoda is making her banana delight, and we have a pie, at least one pie coming. We have brownies and cookies coming, and then we have cobbler. Did you say cobbler?
Cobbler. I didn't say cobbler, but I like
No,
cobbler.
what is that? Crisp. Cobbler. Crisp. I don't know. I
It's
think we're doing
something.
half pans.
It's
So
something.
it's going to be like
We'll figure it
a
out.
cherry cobbler and an apple crisp, or a cherry cobbler and an apple cobbler, something crisp. So anyway, we're going to do that at the community building, so we can pull them out hot, put them in a chafing pan, keep them hot. Wonder if we can do ice cream. Ice cream with the.
Cobbler.
I think we have people who have ice cream makers, homemade ice cream with the
You got 6 days,
hot-
girl.
with the hot cobbler. Oh, that would be good. I guess we could do
You guys see what I deal
whipping
with?
cream.
You guys see what I deal with?
Whipping
You see
cream.
this?
Fresh whipping cream. I'm gonna write that down.
Hey, that speed dating idea instigator said, here could be one of your canned questions. Can you describe the proper procedure for artificial inseminating an open cow?
Oh my gosh.
I think that's funny. And Permatopia Farm, which I agree, says, can you record the speed dating? I want to see it. That'd be hilarious. That would be a great video. Yeah, Jen says, please, no practical jokes on me. I was just playing. I know a couple of you all are cussing me. Amy B says, we need a questions list. Can you run a chainsaw? Do you know how many hot wires will hold sheep? What is your favorite vegetable to grow? Oh, yes.
What do you do for blossom end rot?
That's great. Nito says, let me see, those are 2 very different items. Hubby
Hubby
says.
says.
Instigator says you got to be careful with matchmaking. Don't want to put a pig skinner with a pig scraper. Oh, Silver Lining says she volunteers to make cherry ice cream.
Oh,
Is that how you took that? Is that how you took that?
I love cherry ice
I know,
cream.
right? Look at that. Yeah.
I have a jar of cherries from Crunchy Mama Farms. We could put in. It would be Crunchy Mama Farms cherries with homemade ice cream.
Sounds like you got to get
There
busy.
you go, Silver Lining. I got cherries for you.
Yep. Look at that. Oh, so is she going to organize all of it and all that?
I thought you said she was making it.
Oh, is she? Does she have ice cream makers?
No.
Well,
Did you talk to her?
so you don't have any of the details from Lisa
No.
yet. Okay. All right. Nurse Wayne, welcome in, bud. Yep. Yep. Rick says apple,
Rhubarb.
blueberry, or rhubarb. Well, it sounds like there's local grown cherries. So
Rhubarb.
yeah. Jen says, do we have fresh cream available? Yes.
Mhm.
Skanes Girl says Jen is bringing her ice cream maker. Yeah, but how long will it take? You got to make it 100 servings, right?
How long does ice cream make to take? How long does ice
I
cream
don't-
make to take?
I don't. Not only do I not know, I don't want to know. There. How you like that for an answer? No.
Yes.
All right. What else about food or what you're working on?
That's pretty much the food. And it's gonna it's like a 3-day prep, hour eat, and then it's over.
No, then you got to clean up.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that everybody takes their own plate and throws it away and cleans up after them themselves.
David asks, "Are you nervous or excited about the event?"
I'm not nervous. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm not nervous either. I do lots of these kinds of things, so it's I'm excited about it. Most excited I am though is about what's going on at the school, and that should. Well, as I should. I really hope that we can make some ground there. I had this conversation with another homesteader earlier today about this, but at the end of the day, I have no guarantee of what happens if we can get the school completely on board. If we can't, but what I do know with 100% certainty is I can't do any of it if I don't get up there and swing. And so we're going to go try, and hopefully we have great success with that.
It'd be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, Rapid Cody. Right there. Rapid Cody says, I have one of the old hand crank ice cream makers and a soft serve ice cream machine. Now, a soft serve ice cream machine would be a great add to a community building.
Wonder what kind of
Oh,
amps that uses.
Mo says, ice cream takes just as long as Silver Lining takes to make it. Yeah, Silver Lining says, tell Mario we're counting on him. We're counting Mario.
Mario.
Let's see here. Skanes Girl says, I'm going to look at Jen's because I'm pretty sure mine can be a hand crank also. That'd be a lot to hand crank for 100 people. All I'm saying.
Kids. Wonder if we can get them to. How hard is it to crank? Is it easy?
I don't
Wonder
know.
if we can get them to do it.
I don't think it's that hard. I thought I'd seen headlights up there. Tag, how do I get a free man ball cap? Just send me an email. We'll talk about it. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Gregory. How's it going? Good to see you. Silver Lining says, I need a recipe for the ice cream, but I can whip it up. Okay, so she has volunteered about it, and can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Let's see, hand cranked. Yeah, Instigator says hand cranked is a good determining factor, basically, how bad the kids want the ice cream. Yeah. Laugh out loud. I was asking him, Jen says, it's got a motor and takes about 40 minutes to do 6 quarts. Yeah, I think you could whip it out there. Freezer, which means you're going to have to clear freezer space, right? Shutting the window?
Yeah.
Rapid Coyote says in reference to soft serve, it's not really hard, just tedious. Oh no, mine's electric. And I know it works. I used it to make carnivore ice cream. Gross.
Yeah, what is that?
Put bacon in it? I don't know. Why singles play speed dating, couples can play homesteading version of the Newlywed Game. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'd get myself in so much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Yes.
We could make a few runs and just store it in the freezer. Yeah, it sounds great. So Jen and Silver Lining seem to be on the ice cream team.
Okay.
You agree with that?
Sure.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
We have freezer space too. We could put it in there.
Yeah. Nurse Wang says, my wife makes the best peppermint ice cream at Christmas time.
Mm.
Yeah, homemade ice
I
cream is
love
going to be
peppermint
awesome.
ice cream.
Yeah, let's see here. That's how they did it to us kids growing up. You want it, start cranking. Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Gregory adds proper amount of salt to ice makes it freeze faster. And Rick says bacon ice cream is delicious. Gross. Hey, Juby Joe says you still have daylight. Yeah, for a little bit. It is 7:50 my time. So almost 8 o'clock. We probably got what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? And maybe a little bit longer. Yep, Rapid Coyote says I keep 500 to 600 pounds of rock salt just in case we need to make ice cream. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm super excited. Juby Joe, welcome in, by the way, if I didn't say that already. I don't think I did. Anyway, welcome in. Yeah, Rick says tag you're a wet pay. You call it what you call it, whatever you want to call it, Rick. I will own it. I am not eating bacon ice cream. Just saying. I would try it.
I was gonna say you wouldn't even try it.
I would try it, but that's not my thing. I can already tell you. Like I've tried bacon flavored jelly beans and some of those things. I think they're nasty, personally. But back to Joel real quick. So you guys, as you know, our goal for Joel, main goal, really wrapped around the school and then obviously inside of our community. And so he'll be going to the school. We're going to do a presentation on the future of food and like things in the morning at a assembly with the entire school there. And we're going to have lots of people coming in to watch the presentation. The bleachers, I'm betting, will be full. We're going to get done with that. And then,
I'll be there.
Yep, a few of us are then going to take Joel and we're going to go walk and drive around a plot of land that the school owns that it's not using for anything but hay, to talk about, is it possible for the school to grow, even if it's in just, micro steps, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, but the food for their school lunches and breakfast. And so we're going to have a conversation about that. We'll then go meet with the administrators, the school board, those kinds of things, and have further discussions about it. When lunch is over, then we'll leave there. We'll drive back to my place and we'll spend the rest of the day with Joel eating, having conversation. Joel's not going to give a presentation here. He's just going to chit chat with everybody, answer questions or whatever it is. And we'll eat, hang out, and then he'll be super tired and he'll head to the hotel room and we'll go to sleep. And then we'll get up and, probably go to the Midwest Preparedness Project and see, kind of what's going on over there. I did want to share with you guys, though, in my local paper, they put out an ad. This is the local newspaper about Joe Salatin coming to town. And basically, it just talks about him, his background, the things that he's worked on, the books that he's read, authored, and what he plans to do and what the expectations are a little bit. And so this was super exciting to see in the local paper. Did you see that yet? Oh, yeah. Isn't that pretty neat?
Yeah. That was on the front page, huh?
Yeah, the front page of the newspaper. And pretty cool they put it on the front page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll go and read that.
One of two things. Joel's really, really cool and very popular, or we have a really small, boring town because it's just like news, right? But
I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal around here.
Yeah.
A lot of people look up to him. He's an author. He does videos. He's, a lot of people follow his methods and are at least trying to.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fun. I don't know. Again, I want to stress, and I say this all the time, I have no idea what the outcome of this will be. We're going to push to get them to offer healthier, lunches to the kids. And you don't know where that grows to and, how that sustainability idea begins to take root. And then are these the very beginning building blocks of something even prettier?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answers, but again, I want to stress, I'm going to go swing and we're going to let the chips fall wherever they fall,
Yeah. Well, I know that when we changed our kids' diets, it changed the kids.
That's absolutely.
And so I honestly believe that when you're eating stuff from the gas station and the fast food place, you're not feeding your body the way that it needs to be fed, just like an engine. If you give it crap gas and contaminated oil, how is that engine going to run? So if you're doing that with your body, how is it going to run? Right? We only get one of these. If you ruin it, where are you going to live?
Yeah, Harry Ken Hempwood says, tag, we trust there will be a video taken of Joel's event, so us foreigners will be able to share his information transmission 100%. And I'll actually probably do two, one at the school and then maybe one back at my house. And we'll just kind of see how all that goes. But yeah, that's the idea. But I think there's another side to this that I want to stress too. It's not just about, can we get the school to grow its own food, to feed better lunches, to be healthy? Can we also design curriculum around this process so these kids learn to take care of themselves, they learn to grow their own food, they learn to butcher, they learn all of these kinds of things, because we can't be sustainable if we don't start thinking about beyond us, right? Every year that goes by, B gets prettier, but a year older. I get a year older, and none of this will be worth anything if we can't continue it beyond our little bubble that we live in that we think is so important.
Right.
We're not going to be sustainable if we can't reach those levels. And so I'm super excited about watching the curriculum change.
Right.
Because my goal, and again, guys, who knows this is going to be successful, but my goal would absolutely be that the kids, through their curriculum, take care of the animals.
Right.
Right. They butcher the animals. They process the animals. They do business management, first in, first out, right? The FIFO business principles, they do accounting, they manage the books, what's coming in, what's coming out, right? That we turn this into not just a growing your food, but a entrepreneur business perspective too.
Well, so how would that be? Like, if you could take that, the schools have needs as far as money goes. So like, if they want to, repave the track field because it has cracks in it, they have to have funds to do that. And so why can't they, sell their produce or their plants or their meals or their whatever, and then they turn around and they use those funds to better the school or to put up a new fence or to put up a, new roof, or, instead of the taxpayer taking on always taking on those hits from, this school needs a new football field and that school needs a new gymnasium and, whatever, the whole new school, the situation with the whole new school, this school can't be used because of this, that, and the other. So we have to build a whole new school to put the kids in. Well, this building was so crappy, we couldn't put the school in. Then they turn around and they use that for the public anyway. And so it's like the taxpayers constantly getting taxed, because the school wants more money, more money, more money. Well, if you actually had a school that not only took care of their own needs as far as their fencing and their roofs go, but then could possibly turn around and make a profit from it and better themselves, their community like that. There's not a school in the world that does that. Is there? That takes care of their own needs?
Not that I'm aware of.
And uses the labor of the kids, because the kids are the ones that are doing the work as they're learning. I mean, you can't grow this plant without taking that plant and putting it in the ground. That is work to do, to weed it, to water it, to harvest it, to, then to do it all again the next year. So if the kids are doing that, learning it, finding the love for it, I think that how can that not be a win-win situation if they could actually do that? I think though that you have to have a lot of driving force there, because it's not going to happen all on its own.
Yeah. I'm aware, Pumpkin, that in order for this to work, we're going to have to be really good at what we do and get some luck along the way.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Dolores wants to know, is this the same school board that this two YouTubers are reporting on all the time? Nope, that's Lawrence Schools. That's about 45 minutes from me. But I do know what you're talking about. Let's see here.
Oh.
Yeah, again, I think there's opportunities to teach agriculture, sustainability, business, entrepreneurship, because they already have a greenhouse, they already have a shooting club, they already have a lot of these things. I think it'd be pretty cool to turn all that into, what better way to teach the kids how to run a business than to run a business?
Right.
I mean, this is not
Teach them by
complicated, right?
doing.
So who knows? Again, you guys, this is pipe dreaming. This is me talking big
How do you reach 400 kids?
Yes. How do you become sustainable, which means it lives beyond you? Right.
Well, and not all 400 or 800 of them are going to do it, but what if 100 did? What if 50? What if 20 of them took that and were able to provide for themselves and their family members for?
Yeah, the thing about sustainability, and I'm going to quote Mo, who's in the chat here tonight. And, we, debate what is sustainability, and we talk about it all the time. And, Mo would say that it is when output exceeds input. And again, what a great way to teach a business, right? What great lessons to learn. Gregory says the Nebraska prison system used to grow all of the produce and process all of their food until the Grocers Association put a stop to it, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, Suzanne Fritz says, who would take care of the garden and the animals all summer when the kids are out of school? Those kids that get summer school, right? You get volunteers, you get summer school, you offer extra credits. This can absolutely be managed through. I know many super high-speed high school kids that would love to graduate 6 months early and start their, collegiate activity or whatever it was. There's ways to manage through
volunteers out there who, especially if they know that in the end, what they get is, jars of salsa or fill in the blank, whatever it is that they're, producing, the classes that grew all the babies, the baby chicks, and those babies went to those people. So I think that
and they're already doing a lot of this. I mean, there's 2 teachers that I'm aware of that have incubators going in their rooms right now.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that through the summer, those people, those volunteers, they still reap the benefits of all through the summer.
Yes.
It's not just a job. It's them providing. It's a job, but it's them working for their whatever, their food. Their, instead of going and doing a job, getting money, taking that and giving it to Walmart for your food, what you're doing is you're just cutting that part out. You're just working for your food. Yeah. And then you're eating it.
Yeah. And what if you included 4-H and Future Farmers of America? Now you're pulling the labor, right, from the entire county, not just your school district, to benefit your school.
Right. Well, I mean, 4-H, how many of them have bottle calves that they're
right?
That is right into that.
Is it?
That click, 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 click,
That's
click,
my
click,
pen.
click, 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 click. So anyway, they to have the opportunity for those to be at the school, and then they have bottle calves there that they then milk and then feed back to the kids. They could make yogurt, they could feed them the milk, they could make the cheese, they can fill in the blank, right?
Dreaming big, right? Again, that'd be a long road from now. We'll just see kind of where it goes, but I'll keep you guys posted on how this whole endeavor goes. Joel's just a single step in a big game and a big goal, and so I hope we can be successful. I hope we can touch those kids beyond us. That would be really, really cool. And it'd be something, to lay our head on as a community and say, hey, we did something really special. And I'm super, super excited to see if we can do that. Crypto Billy, what's up? Says it's nice you guys help keep people informed. Well, thank you. We do try to, There you go. Jen says a plant start sale would be great for raising money for more projects. Great idea, Dolores. I didn't see that up there, Dolores, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of things they can do between high tunnels and greenhouses, raising animals, as they try to reach those levels. You could turn it into an actual money-making thing, which allow you to upgrade your schools, which allow you to upgrade your computers or whatever it is you're doing,
right.
give you a lot of options there.
Right.
I think that would be great. You know, what do you
when
think?
our kids were in school, they were constantly having fundraisers.
Yep.
You know, where they want the parents, their kids, to go out, you know, and ask all of their people to buy whatever, fill in the blank, bags, cookie dough. What was knives, gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those football cards that we bought and we never used?
Yeah. I wonder if we could replace all of the send home money raising things. Buy twisty breads, buy cookie dough, buy popcorn, buy, you know, maybe
Trash bags.
instead, why don't you get your eggs from us?
Right.
Instead, why don't you buy your, you know, your bread? Why don't, or whatever, you know?
There's a coffee bar at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Stop in and get your coffee.
Mhm.
Maybe they could have a drive-through.
Mhm.
You know, where the kids are like counting money, right? Doing a sale.
Right. Trash bags, wrap coated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Trash bags. Hey,
And the
conservative
bags
friends,
were
welcome in.
good. The trash bags were, you know, of good quality, but come on.
Mhm.
There's only so many trash bags. And they're like crazy expensive.
Yeah, 3
too.
times the money. You know, and the school gets a half of
A
it.
portion,
Yeah.
a very small portion. And then they're like, they got to the point where at one point in time, they were like, all right, if you don't want to buy the bags, just do a $35 donation. And then it was like, fine, here's a $35. I'm not going to take this thing around to all of my family members and ask them if they want to buy trash bags. And then I have to go and deliver them all. And collect the money. Oh, you don't have it now, but you had it then. Okay, I'll buy them. The cookies, the Girl Scout cookies. How many cases of Girl Scout cookies did I buy from my niece? I'm like, and then she's like, they freeze well. And I'm like, but there's only so much of that you can eat. Anyway.
You feel better yet?
Anyway, but how much better would it be if the school was like, hey, I've got marigolds for $5 for a little 4-pack. Done. Take those, put them in the yard.
Jen says, and learning how to actually count change back.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Oh my gosh, did I tell you that I was in Topeka and I had said it was something so stupid. Like it was 9 cents or something. And I was like, let me give you 9 cents. And she goes, we don't do that. And I said, if you type it in, it will tell you the exact change. And she goes, we don't do that here. And I was like, forget it. Just give me the 96 cents or whatever it was.
Yeah, Mo says, did Joel talk to you about doing something similar in his local Virginia school? He wrote about his book, Folks, This Ain't Normal.
Oh.
Yeah, him and I have had small conversations about some of his experience, not just at that school, but at others, universities. I hope to spend some more time on this when I, get him away from all of it. We'll see how it goes. But let's see here. Yeah, Nito says, yes, the guilt trip's horrible. Hey, Mario himself's in the house. Says happy Friday to all of my Kansas Life Done Free people. Good to see you, buddy. Your Silver Lining and your bride have volunteered to make ice cream for 250 people. It's pretty cool.
I was going to say, we probably better double it because if we have, a freezer mishap or something, then we could have a little extra.
Yep. Let's see here. Mario says, my wife is sitting here looking at me and thinks I'm on Facebook or something. Don't tell her I'm here.
Well, don't read it out loud then.
Well, but he's gambling whether or not she's paying attention. I could slip that by you a couple times. Hence, how did you find that picture so quick of the bee, right?
Yeah, I was talking and I think you probably he sent it. He already fessed up.
Yep. Tag any word on the Wallapini. No word. Thank you for bringing it up, though, Rick. I really appreciate you bringing it up.
No.
Very helpful. No?
We are not talking anything about Wallapini right now. We are just paddling like ducks.
Yeah. Being the duck. So we're getting ready for Joel. There's some other things that have come about I wanted to share with you guys. So
Tag's making a mess.
yeah, though you would think this would be tag making a mess, but there's actually more to this story because I got approached a couple days ago with these words. Hey, we need something for the kids to do. You.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you and the other one said, hey, what are we going to do with the kids? Can you make something? Which sent me down, okay, what material do I have? Right?
And you went and brought logs and tires.
Yeah, yeah. So this is what I came away with, that if we were going to let the kids play with something, this is what
We were going to give them logs and tires. They're like, go down there, kids.
Yeah.
Play
Yeah.
with those.
Yeah. So we're going to, this is what the kids are going to play with. Now I'm going to stack them a little bit differently. Let me explain. So, oh, by the way, I took this picture. Isn't that an interesting way to carry a tree? I should have had this backwards, but this is really cool. That's a great way to carry a tree. That's not me, by the way.
Up over the back and then just drive forward.
Yes. This is what I'm talking about. So we've begun to make structure. If you look at this picture, if you look really closer to B and I, you'll see the chains hanging from, we're putting a floating bridge in underneath that, all those branches there, so that the kids can walk over and across them, which is something that, we've been doing.
So how are those logs all staying up there?
And then, built a little wall to climb up with tires. And I got up on top of it, jumped around on it. It's pretty sturdy.
Oh my God.
And so we're making a few things that the kids can play on, because we want to make sure the kids can go play and the parents can listen to Joel.
You should probably drill holes in the bottom of those tires.
I did the bottom ones. I didn't do the other ones. I just didn't get to it yet.
Because the little butts will fit right in there.
Yep. Sharpshooter says, use what you got.
Yes.
Jen says, he's 2 chairs away from me. Ninja just got a housewifed. Yep. Let's see here. Redneck Jim. Yep. So I'm gonna go back to that other one real quick. Again, we're gonna make structures like this. Guys, we're just using logs, drilling holes in the ground, packing it with mud, trying to support it in a way where it will hold it. But we're gonna make 4 or 5 of these little things for the kids to play on while we're
When
working.
you just screwed those together, those like sticks.
Yeah, so they're put together a lot of different ways. I've got big, massive screws that are 6 inches long, big and thick. Drill a platted hole, get them together. Some are bolted together. It just depends on where I was and how big of a branch
So
it was.
can the kids climb on
Yes.
the handrails of that?
Yes.
Okay. So they can climb up and
Yeah.
over it? Is that to climb up and over?
No, if you look down here, babe, at the bottom, look at those chains. There's going to be a bridge that goes in between all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll walk across the bridge that'll move on them, a moving bridge, basically, right? Mario said, we need to give it the old jackass test worthy try with the adults and some helmets. I'm thinking full combat obstacle course. See, I love this, right? I love this.
We'll record you.
Yeah. Sons of Hack says, should set the structures up for close quarter combat rooms for Nerf gun wars. For the kids and adults can teach room clearing. Yep, that would be fun. Let's see here. You can jump over the tires. You guys can see back there, we got some logs going up in the back over there. Oh yeah, that's the next topic. But anyway, that's what I've been doing, is trying to get all that. Oh, it won't take you long. It'll just take a few minutes. This will be easy. Go build a playground. You've got 6 days till Joel's here.
Build a playground with what you got.
Yeah, with what you got. Yeah, so.
Or what you can get.
Jen says, medical professionals, please stand by.
Yeah. Joe had a couple Band-Aids, right?
Yeah. So crazy. Hold on, I got something coming up here. You feel like it's safe, babe?
The structure you're building?
Yes.
I'll have to get down there and look.
Oh, there you go.
I think that if it can hold you and Joe, then it probably will hold every kid that we have.
Hey, Zeg's in the house. Good to see you. Tim, welcome in. Harry says, I see paintballs in your future. Silver Lining instantly says, rethinking what to have readily available. All bleeding stops eventually, says Amy. So splinting class, anyone, capture the flag. Here, we got a We got something really cool here for the ice cream team. So many steps to get to anything. So we have, there we go. How about that? So ice cream dream team farm style.
Dream
Need some cherry trees in the background, I think. What do you think, babe? Oh, where are we at here? Let's stop sharing. Okay. Let's see. MB says, question, does the community building have a first aid kit? Yeah, it's got actually a really good first aid kit, but it's growing and
it's getting better.
Yeah, right. And it gets better all the time. Yeah. Gregory says, first aid kit over by the tree. Yep. Love it. Yeah, guys, here's the thing about this. I promise you, I will not let the kids climb on it unless I can climb up and over it, jump around on it, and it'll be plenty strong. We won't have any problems with it. I'm actually fairly protective of that. So I want to make sure, that like the tire thing, I climbed up over the top of it, got up on it, swung on it, moved back and forth. It's in there pretty good. All of those posts are in the ground 4 feet. I mean, that's a lot, so I guess we'll see. Tim says Chuck Peoples with Homestead Medical does a great 2-day on the farm medical class.
I do have his medical kit too.
Jen says, I have strawberries in the freezer from last year. Should I bring them? Did you grow them? Are they,
Yeah, in her freezer.
If that's the case, then yes.
You make strawberry ice cream.
If it doesn't require splinting or stitches, it's superficial. Let's see here. That pond would be the attraction for my sons when they were kids. Yeah, kids love water.
Yeah.
And that pond's on 3 sides of the community building. So I'm actually got to get that old, let me go back through that picture. One of the things I've got to get done. Let's see here. There we go. Is I got to get, you guys can't see it, but if you look close, I guess you might be able to notice there's the pond's down in there right behind the structure. I got to get a fence built on that edge. So in case, I just don't want them falling into a fence or, falling down into the pond because those are pretty steep.
And you're doing a wood fence, you said?
Yeah. Yes, I brought B some plants last year too. Yeah, bring them. Absolutely bring them. Strawberry and cherry ice cream it is. The list grows.
Yes.
I love this.
That's what those...
What about strawberry cherry ice cream? Never had that.
Together?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think it would be bad.
I mean, there's people in here that eat bacon flavored ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Gregory says, all jokes aside, I'm sure it's safe and kids will have fun. Yeah, me too. And I'll go to, let me see. Juby Joe says, I'm as new and will hush. You lost me. You must be typing on a phone. I have no idea. Let's see here. All right. Here we go. B, what you got going on here?
I am cutting tile. I am putting tile on the backsplash of the community building behind the sink and the countertop
And the stove.
and behind the stove all the way down to the ground. And that's where I stopped. Yes. So I'm cutting tile, putting them up there.
Oops. Amy B says, called berry cherry bumble ice cream. Yeah. Instigator says, I know people that put Tabasco on everything. No thanks. That would be a gross combination. Considering my sons built our own toboggan course when we lived in Alaska. Yeah, I love stuff like that. There's a lot of people talking about we should put a slip and slide for the July event from the front door of the community building into the pond. Because it's a good.
Like you don't want oil, you don't want soap, you don't want anything in the pond.
No, just water.
I think you have to use something other than just water, though.
What would you use besides water?
Don't you have to make it slippery with something?
Yeah,
like
you put
oil or soap or something. You can't just use water.
No, you put plastic down and cover it in water.
I think you have to have something
No,
else.
no.
I think you can't just use water. What kind of plastic? You have to have a line.
Amy B wants to know if you did it with a wet saw.
Yes.
No. Zeg says, looking good, B. Tag taught you well.
Yeah. So Tag didn't give me any pointers. Jess was like, this is how Tag said to do it. And I'm like, I don't believe this is finishing work. Those were my words.
Mm-hmm.
This is construction. This is not finishing work. And she goes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, I don't like that.
City Gal says knee pads, elbow pads, and helmets. I think a big slip and slide would be great. Yeah, Redneck says need a ramp for the slide. Yeah, we just build a ramp. That'd be fun. Put just some big, thick, heavy plastic down. Run a pump from the pond to pump up the hill up to the top of the slide, so that
just
it's
use pond water.
Pond water.
Back and
just make it rotate.
oh my god,
Wouldn't that
I
be
can
fun?
see road rash.
Oh no, this would be
I can
great.
see
Oh no, this would be great. This would be
because
great.
it's not like the ground is going to be smooth, so the plastic is going to be. You're going to get all kinds of like scratches and road rash. You're going to get.
See, Jen says I still have those huge sheets of 10 mil. Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We can make a gigantic 2-person slip and slide
Oh my
down
gosh.
to the pond for the 5th of July Freedom Celebration. What's wrong with this? Are you gonna get on
No,
it? Any chance?
not.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think B should do it if we build it? Do you think she should?
No, but I think that you should. I think anybody who wants to should be able to. I think it should be free of charge. I think it should.
Do you think they should have to sign a waiver at the top of the hill?
Maybe.
Straw bed under the slip and slide for cushion or ramp with a fan sprinkler to surface coat. Yes, that's a great idea.
Area.
Yeah, that's a great idea right there. If there's not some scrapes and scratches, was it even farmstead fun? The t-shirt. Anybody going down the slip and slide can be covered in aloe vera as a natural lubricant with water on the slide. So, Sons of Hack, does that mean you're volunteering to put the aloe vera on everyone?
That's a lot of aloe vera.
It's a race. It's a race. Sharpshooter says Amber will go if you do.
No, I'm not.
Joe says, putting this out here, I went phone knowing grid is going down, and I trained myself for no laptop on YouTube. Oh, cool. I want to be in charge of the committee that interviews zipline and motorcycle parachutes, bungee jumping. That's what every kid needs for a good time. I agree with you.
I don't know about parachutes.
No, Mario needs to chair the adrenaline committee.
The adrenaline committee.
Right?
Yes.
Right. He is the chair of the community adrenaline committee. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Let's see here. Tag, you do the slip and slide. I will do the slip and slide.
I'm sure he will.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, we went ziplining, B and I, and it was a lot to get her up on there to do it. I did it upside down, didn't I?
The zip line isn't as bad as going into the pond.
Well,
That's not.
if you went into the pond?
No, I'm not ziplining into
the pond would even be better.
No.
Right?
I'm not getting into the pond.
Oh, look at that. MJ from Wisconsin says the big white round bale covers make excellent slip and slide. We got to totally do this. Yeah. Oh, what happened there? That was weird.
You pushed the wrong button.
We used old billboard sign for 48 feet by 12. We cut it in half and made it 96 feet long. Yeah, we're going to have to go about 300 feet. But it's downhill the whole way. We got to figure out how to do that. We need someone from the committee to be in charge of the slip and slide committee to manhandle what has to happen, what we need. You agree?
I am not playing any role of that. I want no part of that.
All right. Well, I'm putting it out there to the community that we need a chairman of the slip and slide process. So
for the 6th, for 4th of July,
July
5th
5th.
of July.
Yeah. So someone, please send your resumes in, and yeah, really,
It'll be hot by then.
It'll be hot, and that will be a great thing to do, and it will be funny, and we will videotape it, and it'll be laughing, and everyone will love it. And then they'll dump into the pond, and the little fish will come up and nibble on them, and it'll be fun. No? Okay.
That does not sound like fun to me.
Sounds like a project for the adrenaline committee, maybe. Maybe the adrenaline committee chairman would have something to say about the gigantic slip and slide.
Mm.
I don't know. Hack says, rope course over the pond would be pretty safe and fun. Oh, would that be work though, right? Right.
That's a long ways across.
Katie, Texas says, how about a calf scramble and a mutton busting rodeo? We're actually going to have some calves by then, maybe. Maybe, right? Could be.
In July?
Well, they're due in
Yeah,
May.
we'll have two by.
Don't you have one due in May?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
in
May.
June.
Say we might have a calf.
So
maybe.
yeah, we would buy.
Yeah, Amy B says zip line dropping into the pond. Well, see, this is what I think we need to do. We need to have a zip line that goes to the pond. Right at the middle of the pond, there's a break at the end. So like a rubber bounce. And
stop.
Hard stops you right over. So anybody who doesn't let go over the pond is going to get flipped upside down and slammed
Yeah, you're
into
going
the
to
pond.
get flipped.
I love that.
And hurt.
You're not going to get hurt. You're landing in water.
You could be hurt.
No.
It can flip you into something.
No. People flip themselves into the water all the time. Jen says, looks like we're bringing the cargo trailer.
Looks like we're moving it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just bring it all.
Yeah, Dolores said they used the old solar cover from our pool as a slip and slide. Louise says, I nominate Mrs. Hacks for the slip and slide committee. Don't forget to make the redneck hot tub for everyone's sore bones after a day of full Tropic Thunder. Oh, I like Tropic Thunder. That's got to be the name of the slip and slide.
What would be the redneck hot tub? You're going to have to get a trough.
Juby Joe says we need insurance. Yeah, clearly. Clearly. That's great. Cola copper and zero hot fire recirculating pump on the hose. You choose what body of water you want to look like. Sounds like this is a definitely you're going to need to bring the enclosed trailer. Rick says, tag, I'll be there. Silver lining can be the medic. She's always the medic. Yeah. Gizmo says you could use an old greenhouse cover. Mario says, can I please be the crash test dummy? 100%. You lead, buddy, we'll follow. You lead, we'll follow. Straw bales and tarp, says Amy B. I can get a lot of straw bales all the way down the hill. Put plastic on it, get it nice tucked in, maybe even drive some. No, you don't like any of this, do you?
I'm not participating in any of that. That sounds like a giant mess.
Yeah, okay. Juby Joe says she's got a cat that's been bugging her about apparently a vibration plate, but she says it's her kitty is now in the middle of the vibration plate. Road cat. Conversations like this among us 40-plus-year-old teenagers is why ladies and mothers get gray hair. Oh, I could just write a man.
Don't.
Yeah, I could write a book over the chats that go on in. Yeah, I could. Let's see here. Nito said, I raised 3 adventurous sons. Nothing scares me anymore. Yeah. He says, welcome to Life with Mike and Jen. Yeah, oh my God, you guys crack me up. Homestead hot tub with a ring of bales and a tarp over it to hold the water, recirculating pump to heat water. Backrat says another good reason women live longer. Yeah, but guys, I don't want to live a boring life. I'd rather go have fun. And I think the whole challenge of a gigantic slip and slide, we'll have a live band, slip and slide, and live fireworks. Oh my goodness. That would be a party. Guys, yeah, that'd be a party. Yeah, Conserve Friend says redneck hot tub, a line to pick up bed filled with water, sitting in the summer sun. Yeah, and Carrie says laughter's what the world needs now. Yep. 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 I think we should do it. We just need someone to take charge. Slip sliding away. Yeah. Slip sliding away. Sing it with me. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. I probably didn't want to do that, did I? Okay, what else you got on your list, babe, before we get into the good news of the evening?
I've got the stove guy coming out to calibrate the stove. In cooking on the new gas stove, we learned that the smaller oven, I think they use that a lot more in its previous life, and so it was significantly dirtier, but it also is like 50 degrees cooler
Hey, look
than
at
it
this.
should be.
Hi from Matt at Tar Waters Farm and Home. Hope you are doing well. We're doing great.
And welcome.
Yeah, Tar Waters is a local like farm and home store. I shop there all the time. Concrete 2x4s, pipe fittings,
Saws.
chicken feed. Yeah, I mean, just
Saw repair.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, all my steels, chainsaws, they do all the work on them there. And good local store, closed on Sundays, which is also good. I think I really like that a lot. So anyway, welcome in, Matt.
Yes, so the stove guys come in to calibrate my stove.
Sorry.
So it can be.
We just sent the stove away. Why does it need to be calibrated?
I have no idea. I don't know if that's something that when I was cleaning, if while I was cleaning it, if I, jostled something around and broke, I don't know. But if it was at right temperature, then we could cook correctly. Jess wasn't here and she had left some cookie dough and she said, pay attention to the timer so you don't burn them, to Joe. And so she got back and she said, how long have they been cooking? And he said like 18 minutes or something like that. And she goes, what? No, they only cook for this many minutes. And so she goes and she's like, wait, these are not done right. These aren't done right. And so she put something else in there and she was like, I don't think this is right. And so they went and got a thermometer and put it in there. And she goes, yeah, this is not right. Your stove is not performing the way it should be. So I have the guy coming out tomorrow to calibrate it. I've never seen that done. So I'll be able to watch and see how he does that. But I'm getting to be a pro at turning the gas on, lighting all the pilot lights. I mean, I can do it pretty, to where before I was just like standing back and watching Joe do it. Mm-hmm. And then now I can do it all by myself.
Yep.
It's really not that hard. And it's actually pretty fast if you just know where all the pilot lights are.
Yep.
And the ones that are obvious, it's obvious, but the griddle was the one that we were having trouble with. But now I know exactly where the pilot lights are and it's just boop, boop, done. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I wanted to, forgot to let you guys know that Tar Waters, by the way, has a website, Tar Waters, and you can order stuff directly from them. And that benefits our whole regional community, here. So definitely don't hesitate to do business with them. Hey, before we get on to the good news, I forgot I had one more thing I wanted to share with you guys. So you guys know how I did a video on the picnic benches that we built for the Joel Salatin event, right? And I had to build 3 of them and, B was harassing me. But anyway, we got through it and, which was pretty cool. But then I had somebody from the live, who's in the live tonight, send me blueprints for the picnic tables, which was, guys, I cannot tell you how cool this absolutely was. At least for me, I'm like, this is just so cool. I've never built blueprints after I built something, right? Usually you do that before, but this was just.
So does this have measurements so that people know how long, like to make this particular one, it needs to be this long?
Check this out. You guys will like this. This was really, really cool. And so if you look, we have all the measurements are there. Every board.
And it says like how many you need. You need this many 2x4s and
see, 7. Right, number 7, 3 pieces, cut those. 2 pieces, right? Look at all the measurements, 96 inches, which is exactly what we built. And I think it's so cool is that he took me verbalizing, this is what these measurements are, right? In the video and put them into a blueprint.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so how cool is this? So if anybody's interested, if you email me, I will send you these.
That's a massive amount of work.
It's awesome. It's totally cool. Totally cool. But we would absolutely send it. I was honored that they would invest any amount of their energy capital in this. And, energy is a very finicky thing. Our gas tank has so much gas in it. When it's out, it's out. And so I take people who donate their energy capital seriously, and it's definitely a blessing, and I'm super excited about it and willing to share it with anybody that wants it. If one of the mods will put my email address in the box and let me know, I'll be happy to send these out. But anyway, I think it was
Did
just
you see
absolutely
this
cool.
pattern somewhere?
No, I just made it up. It just went down and said, all right, what do I got? And I knew I wanted the benches to go underneath it so I could keep them out of the way. I didn't want fixed benches. But other than that, it just kind of the way it kind of turned out to be.
Oh yeah, he does. I see it. Never mind.
Yeah. So let's see here. Where am I at here? Okay. Hack says you're not trying to lose your eyebrows with the burners.
No.
Your horse is your strength. I need a horse. Let's see here. Nito says, oh yeah, tag your dance was hilarious. And Pete Squatchy and Lazy Loper, which by the way, I don't know if I said welcome in Lazy Loper. I've seen her, but I don't know. I think we might have blown by it. If not, Lazy Loper, welcome in. That's who made all the stuff, the blueprints for me. And again, would absolutely be happy to send it, out to everybody because it is really that cool. Let's see here. Yeah, lots of awesome blueprints. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, here's my email address right there. I'll leave that up there for just a second. And if anybody wants them again, feel free to email me and I'll send them out. I think it's just neat as can be.
I saw you dancing on the table through the window
Did you?
at the event. I was like, what is he doing up on the table? And then whoever it was I was talking to was like, oh, tag.
Yeah, well,
I
I made a deal with the camera person that if they fulfilled something I asked them to do, that they could film me and I would dance on the table. We did not agree. And this is about teaching how to make deals. There was no conversation about how long I had to dance, what dance I had to do. I just had to get up there and dance. So I fulfilled my
so were they upset? Were they like, dude, that
No.
wasn't long enough, or that wasn't a good dance? Or
No, I wish they would have been, because then I would have said you didn't clarify that, and a deal's a deal, right?
Yeah,
But
they'll learn.
yeah, blueprints after the fact are called as builds. I didn't know that. Yes, and nobody offered me $1. Nobody. I was there, it was on the table. Not a single person broke $1 out.
No.
Isn't that kind of disappointing?
No, you didn't want their dollars anyway. Did you?
Not really. Not really. Okay, should we get on to good news? Again, Squatchy, thank you very much for the blueprints. Absolutely amazing, touching, and I hope that it goes on to benefit many, many people. All right, let's get to some good news. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to run through this. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the blackouts that went on over in Europe, Spain, into France, a little bit, Portugal. They have these big old blackouts. And what I found interesting about it is they talked a lot about how these blackouts were a atmospheric anomaly, basically. And then articles start popping like solar storm worse than Chernobyl, warnings after Spain and Portugal's outages. The company that operates Spain's grid says that at 12:33 p.m., almost 2/3 of the power vanished in about 5 seconds, plunging virtually the entire country as well as neighboring Portugal into the dark. No factories, nor stoves, no restaurants, no card payment systems, and most importantly, no phones. I think that's interesting how they say most importantly, no phones. I would put food, water, all those kinds of things far higher than I would put the phones, other than from communications. Huge power cut causes chaos in Spain and Portugal as trains, traffic lights, and payments hit. And there's a lot of pictures out there on the web of people standing in lines for an ATM machine that doesn't work. Dr. Clown, PhD, says, am I the only one who thinks the official reason for the blackouts, induced atmospheric vibration, sounds like complete BS? And isn't it interesting that the Netflix film that came out last year called Leave the World Behind and was produced by Barack and Michelle Obama is a blatant display of predictive programming? The movie shows cyber attacks causing a major blackout in the United States. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's coincidence that just a few weeks ago, the European Union published this survival kit video and now there's blackouts and chaos across several countries? Because they were just coming out saying, put away 48 hours of food or, right. Mo Engineer, says perfectly. Atmospheric anomaly, no accountability. Exactly. So what do you do with that, right? Yeah, and Sharpshooter says, yeah, but cell phones are essential. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Gregory says it was a hole in the magnetosphere. Tag, we have a customer in Spain and still can't get a hold of them. Ouch. All right. Tongue, Shahur. Tongue, Shahur. Camp out, gonna be lit for real, scum. What?
Skull?
Skull? Oh, for real skull emoji? I wonder if that's, yeah, that was weird. Anyway, I think I got that one. I got it right. Spain, I also found it was interesting that Spain had hit its first weekly 100% renewable power on their national grid just a couple days behind on April 22nd, and then the blackout was on April 28th. So 6 days later, after they reached doing it all sustainably, or they call sustainably, even though I would not call that sustainable. But anyway, that the whole thing goes blackout, and then obviously there were lots of pictures of empty shelves in lots of places as nothing moves if the grid goes down. And you guys, I talk about this all the time on my channel. Energy. It will be the thing. I'm telling you this. Get some way of getting your own power. Generators okay, but then you're still dependent upon fuel. Solar's okay, but then you're still dependent on the replacement parts of those solar systems and those inverters. But just do something. Do something that gives you a little bit of time where you don't have to go through, that type of disruption. It affected France, Greece, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, and Portugal. Electricity was down in all of them. And not everybody, lots of people are talking about it really happened because of an EMP. It really happened because of, all of these different types of things, that solar's unstable, whatever it is. But it's been interesting to watch all of the videos. If you look at that map right there next to B, that's the country of Spain, that dark, right? And Portugal, I guess, too. Isn't that crazy?
That's awful.
Could you imagine trying to live through that and just be involved in that? I'm so thankful I live the life that I live. Yes, I'm still dependent on many things, but the electric grid's not one of them. And I love that. Let's see here. Nito says, I believe it was a test just to see how the common people will react so we can prepare. Yep. Rick says, get a grid down. Guys, here's the thing. I'd love to sell you a grid down. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. Go out there and get some kind of alternative energy, no matter what it is. I'm telling you, you'll be far better off. If you can do something so simple as keep a refrigerator cold, if you can do something so simple as have lights, be able to charge a drill battery. Could you imagine what all of this lifestyle and what life would be like if you had to produce everything for you and had no electricity of any kind? No ability to have a drill, right? No ability to have any electric mixers, a microwave, an Instapot, no ability to have any of those kinds of things. Life would get hard, and it would get hard in a hurry. Absolute hurry. Energy. I would put it right up there with water. I think you could argue 1A and 1B. I understand you can't live very long without water, but I'm going to tell you something. If you have to move that water by hand,
or clean it
and filter it and all of that, water and electricity, I'm telling you, 1A and 1B. Jen says, I saw several posts on X about solar panels mostly came from China and that the possibility of tariffs affecting them is very real. Yeah, that's been a big deal, huh? Jen says, I see how various land energy packs at Costco. Yeah, even some of those little systems, we've got, I've got a big grid down. I've got a grid down bug out, which is the medium one. And then even the small one, we use all three of them. You okay?
Looking at the sky, look, it's like Neapolitan. It's like
look at
3
that.
separate colors.
Just what you need. Talking about the tariffs and those kind of things, you guys probably hearing a lot of the grids are beginning to shut down. The once busy port of Seattle is all but shut down with stuff not coming in. But we're going to have a beautiful empty shelves, and it's something I think you'll be seeing very soon. We won't be the country of clutter anymore. Yeah, that's an interesting take. Container bookings from China to the U.S. Are collapsing. You can look in the graph. Container bookings from China to the U.S. are falling sharply, baby. That's the blue graph, right? They're also talking about how trade between the U.S. and China has begun to collapse. Now, there's some stuff that have happened since I built some of this. It looks like to me that China backed off on some tariffs. Trump's beginning to maybe back off a little bit. We shall see. I don't really buy any of it, to be honest. Who knows? we have to do for ourselves. Again, water and energy, water and energy, water and energy. It will take care of a lot, right? Gregory says kind of like a Carrington event. Yeah, Carrington event was obviously a solar flare that came down, and if you think back then, they didn't have hardly any electronics; they only had the telegraph, at that time, and there were people hurt from it. Every expert in the world says it's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when we get another one, like that. Let's see here. Sons of Hack says solar, wind, wood gasifier, all great options for energy independence, all null and void without protection if lightning or an EMP hit. 100% true. And again, guys, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what kind of alternative energy you get, just get something, get on the path. When we first started, I had 3 little solar panels from Harbor Freight, a little charge controller, and 1 battery. We ran a couple light bulbs. That was it.
And that was better than, before that, we were just taking our stuff home to charge and then bringing the batteries back and then taking them home to charge and then bringing them back.
Yep.
We were bringing 4 gallons of water, the 4-gallon water jugs, however many we can fit in the car, and then back and forth every day.
Yep. Jen says, wow, no more clutter means all those garbage loving chaos goblins will be very bored. Yeah. What are they going to do when they're bored, Jen?
Find something else to do.
Find something else to do, something maybe that meets their needs a little more. What they're going to do is go find some place to get the things that they need. Again, why community absolutely matters. GB Joe says too many hurricanes and such. Don't go to the store. Yeah, not when those kind of things, right? Zeg said they're going to protest. Yeah, they're going to protest. That's for sure. In your yard with a bat.
Yikes. Yeah. Going to the store in the event of an emergency,
bad idea.
That's the worst time to go.
Nope. This is why we are growing food what we're growing it this year. This is why we're focused down in, raising our livestock and trying to get many of the systems I can get in place, the better. Every rainwater system that you put in buys you more time from a water perspective, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, all of the different types of alternative energy just allows you to, again, to last. This just in, Walmart announced that they'll be expanding support for American-made products. This is the way. Meanwhile, Amazon is doubling down on sleeping with China. Walmart says their goal is to make it easier for U.S.-based entrepreneurs to navigate the complexities of retail and bring their products to the natural stage, which is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs, by the way. If you've got a product, an idea, something like that, if you could get in at the beginning of the curve for Walmart, making it easier for US-based entrepreneurs to sell their product, might be a good gig there. We anticipate thousands of small businesses will take advantage of these free resources over the coming years, John Furner, Walmart US president and CEO, told them. Amazon said that they will show the price increase on products due to tariffs on China. Amazon is siding with China over the U.S. Now, U.S. consumers can easily avoid products from China and buy American. And so they originally said they were going to post it. And as soon as they started getting a bunch of heat, they came back and said, no, we won't do that. Minutes after President Trump called Jeff Bezos this morning, Amazon caved and backtracked on their plans to display tariff prices next to the products on the website. Sure, we got here. Hippocrates says having is one thing, but need to practice to find weak points. Oh, you got to deploy it. You got to, and yeah, I'd go even farther, instead of practice, live it. Right? Live producing your own energy. Live taking care of your own water, your own filters, your own everything. Yeah. Live it. Grid down with EMP shield is necessity. Yep, I would not have it any other way. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things that came out of the spring event that was so good for me, it was the first chance I had to really test all the systems together and on a high load. There was high load. Yeah, there was at one point in time 7 roasters cooking on the countertop,
or crock pots,
or whatever, out of an off-grid solar system, and it held all day long. Got to the end of the day, and I had 81%. Is that right?
I don't know.
80 something.
Did you count the coffee pots too in that?
No
figure.
No, but all of that was running, and I got to the end of the day with 80%.
And then we had Jess and Joe upgraded their fridge, so they are lending us their littler fridge, so we have a fridge going on down there, and then the big coffee pot. I don't know how much water that takes, but you can see when it kicks on, the lights dim.
Let's see here.
It has a big suck, a big draw.
Yep. China exempted tariffs on over 40% of American products yesterday. Yes, that's right. And Mo makes a great point. Walmart is the very company that destroyed many small towns. Why do small businesses need them? Because of the audience, Mo. What it gives them is a place to market their product all over the globe, because many small businesses can't stay. Let's say in your town, the closest town to you, Mo, there's many businesses that would never be able to stay afloat. There just isn't enough customers, and so it brings that to the table. But I kind of share your view of Walmart, and we try hard not to shop there. But let's see here at Rick. EMP Shield good for even a Lightning store. Summer's coming. Oh yeah, that's actually the number one reason I have them. It's because Lightning is sure. Also, one real quick thing, Bud Light Saga. You guys remember they went to the whole, trans thing, and it cost them a whole lot. Well, they've now shut down the iconic St. Louis brewery, which was a big deal. And it just goes to show you that, there are people out there, and hopefully, we'll win when it's all said and done. Giant American retailers have collectively issued a warning that due to the government's tariff policy, the supply chain is on the verge of collapse, and the shelves in the stores across the United States could be left empty as early as this summer. They go on to show a timeline about what they think when the real impact will come. And it looks to me that about late May and early June is when layoffs and trucking and those kind of things will begin. And then late summer, July and August, recession will begin, according to this source. I'm not telling you guys.
Summer.
Yeah, through the summer. I'm not suggesting this is right. I'm just sharing with you guys what they believed it to be. Oh my goodness, I got 9 minutes. Okay, lots still going on over in Iran with Israel, et cetera. And again, I won't read all of these. The real big one I wanted to read to you is two from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Message to Iran. He tweeted out that we see your lethal support of the Houthis. We know exactly what you're doing. You know very well what the U.S. military is capable of, and you were warned. You will pay the consequence at the time and place of our choosing. I think it's really important to understand the word that was used in there. He did not say that if you keep it up, there's going to be trouble. That's not what he said. He said, we see the lethal support you give to the Houthis, and we know exactly what you're doing. You know very well what the U.S. military is capable of, and you were warned. So they're talking about an event that had already happened, saying that you would, and then they're going to say to Iran, you will pay the consequence, but it'll be at a time of our choosing. I think this is a big deal. We'll see what happens to it, kind of as we go on. But were you telling me to quit fiddling my feet?
No, I was just moving my foot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll skip that one because, guys, I'm not going to get to all these slides. So I'm trying here.
You're looking for the good ones.
Yeah, well, just the stuff that maybe people wouldn't know about. Big stuff going on between India and Pakistan, both nuclear countries. I don't know if you guys have caught this. This is the next one to pop off in all the craziness that's been going on between, China and Taiwan and Russia and the Ukraine and Iran and Israel and the United States and Europe and all of this. Now this one's piping off. There were shots fired across the borders. There were bombs dropped across the borders. And there is some evidence to suggest that India may be preparing for a large-scale attack on Pakistan. Again, one of the worries that I would have there is both nuclear powers, both right there side by side. And again, there is evidence to say that it could be within 24 or 48 hours for an attack. Russia continues to build up its stuff on the Ukrainian border. Interesting development this week. Trump and the Ukraine signed a deal for all the rare earth minerals in trade for military support. And so if that holds true, then that would put American troops potentially on the ground in the Ukraine. And then you can't make this stuff up. Ukraine, for at least the 10th time, agreed to Trump's mineral deal over the weekend. Then last night decided to make changes. Secretary Bessent says, we're still willing to sign the original deal as it stood last weekend. And so now apparently there's still some shenanigans going on that front. U.S. Recently, I'm sure you guys seen this, but the U.S. went ahead and banned red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, and green 3 effective today. PepsiCo says that it's rushing to replace artificial colors with natural ingredients across all of its brands to include Doritos, Lay's, Cheetos, following RFK Jr.'s ban on dyes. Illinois Governor J.P. Pliskett says Kennedy's health policies are dangerous and deeply disturbing. RFK Jr. says an American teenager today has less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. Sperm counts are down 50%. Waters went on to say weight, an American teenager has less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. RFK said that's correct. Get some comments here. EMP education, please. Do you put them on any item that has an electrical part? No, Katy, Texas, not really. It really depends on how big the footprint in, but where I would want to put them in is any of the places that power comes in. So your main power coming in at your breaker box, if you have like a Cat 5 coming in or a coax cable coming in, any of the antennas, that would come through. If you have solar panels, then the solar panels are the antenna. And so I would try to isolate the antennas and then install the protection at those places.
Or vehicles.
Yeah, you can purchase it at empshield.com if you'd like, and you can use the discount code FREE50. Let's see here. Does that mean more U.S. tax dollars and our troops? Can we just get the mining stuff for what we already spent? Well, it doesn't look like it, right? Doesn't look like it. What do we got here? 5 minutes. We used to grow food and raise animals. Now we beg corporations to poison us and call it convenience. Reclaim your freedom, grow your own food, raise your own, and stop waiting to be saved. Right?
Stop waiting to be saved.
And I think this is, I'll leave this live right here on this last slide. Would you agree?
I think we wrote that somewhere. Stop waiting to be saved.
Yeah, you might have. I think it's,
Yeah.
did you know she keeps notes from every single live that we've ever done? She has in one 5-ring binder. I think it's
I was like,
completely strange.
why is it strange?
Yep. I think that the stop waiting to be saved is the most important thing. You guys, don't depend on them for power. Don't depend on them for water. Don't depend on them for food. Do everything that you can do to get in the middle of that, because I'm telling you, it's going to absolutely matter. The more you do of that, the more stroke you remove. The more stroke you remove, the more options you have. And as long as you have lots of options, you can afford to fight on many fronts instead of having to fight them all and, be a prisoner to that, modern slave system that we all live today. Be involved, get involved local, go find a school to get involved with, just like we're trying to do here. Go find something to try to make a difference every day. Because again, savings not coming. We got to get up and go save ourselves. Anything you want to add to
Don't
that?
be distracted.
Don't be distracted. That's 100%. Anything else from you, Punk?
Nope.
All right, guys, we're going to get at it. We got a million things to get done. I'll get you guys some videos out on Joel's visits, both sides. We will not have a live next week. We will not have a live next week because Midwest Preparedness and Joel will be here. So it's going to be the week after that. So you can't say I didn't tell you. I appreciate y'all. Hold the line. Don't give an inch.
Be out.
Tag out. See you, everybody.